Welcome to Green and Glamorous Living. Today I am going to show you a few things how you could do Christmas and holiday decoration at winter time to um, to use in your home using various things that you collected from your garden uh, or other places. So I will show you that if you have a small or big garden, I'm not sure you will have berries, but these are the two types of berries that I have. So this is the berries from a plant called Nandina bamboo, or Nandina, or sometimes they call Nandina heavenly bamboos. So they are a greens that usually broad leaves evergreen. So I have this leaves of that plants here. And also I had 2 years back I planted this winter berries. So these, as you can see, that these are very attractive red berries, and they comes in winter after the leaves drops in fall, so they are very visible on the branches. So I planted them. I don't have lots of them, so because they are just 2 years old, I have few bushes, but I have Nandina bamboos that they are pretty matured, and a bunch of them, so I have plenty to collect from the garden. And as you see that the Nandina bamboo might have a little bit of a orange color or very dark red shade based on the cultivar that you have. So it doesn't matter if both of them look nice. If you have both type, actually it gives a little bit of a contrast. So these are the red berries that if you have, and also these are a bunch of greens that I collected from. I can show you that various types of greens. So this is actually the tip of Nandina I cut off. And the reason I cut it off, because Nandina and other bushes, time to time you have to kind of trim them anyway. So I cut some branches that I thought that I needed to trim off. So this I could use as a green part of my vase or winter decoration. And as you look at it, that Nandina bamboo has these are evergreens. Actually, even in winter they stay green. And if you see that some of the leaves will have a little bit of a brownish and the red color change. So that's actually gives a little bit of a contrast against the rest of the green leaves, and makes it much more attractive. So these the leaves from Nandina. So this is that Nandina berry. Usually you will see that the berry in the plants will cluster this way. And so other than that Nandina bamboo, so for example that these are the branches that I collected from boxwood, and this is a large size boxwood, and time to time they needed a little bit of a trimming anyway. So I kind of wait until this winter time to trim them. So I could take that once I trim them, I can use these branches for winter decoration. So you saw the Nandina bamboo and the boxwoods. Other than that, you have, if you have various type of coniferous evergreen, and here I have a bunch of branches I picked it up. Actually these are all actually needed the trimming, so I done trimming, and while I thought that I need to have some branches for this pieces that I will arrangement that I will make. So these are arborvitae. So if you this is called actually green giant. It's a hybrid version of a arborvitae. And if you have other types of arborvitae, for example, emerald green or any other type would work too. So I have this. So this is the one type, and then I have uh, juniper. So these are various type of juniper you might have if you have in the garden, and either they could be bushy, upright, and this is a sort of like called carpet juniper, and so what or also might call that creeping juniper. So usually they kind of like a crawl on the surface. So these are the few branches that was off from the path that I along the path that I planted, and I needed to cut them anyway, so I could use this evergreen for my flower arrangement or decoration arrangement. Actually, there was no flowers, so that is sort of that. Also, if you don't have anything, so for example, that this is like herbs that lavender. So lavender, if you have a lavender plant, so you will see that even in winter time you will have green branches, some of them. So you actually could have this branches, and especially lavender will have a little bit of a whitish frost kind of like a look on the leaves, so it actually creates a good contrast. Also, this is I have a bunch of rosemary trim that I trimmed. So if you have a rosemary, you know that the rosemary time to time has to be trimmed to keep it in shape. So in this time, actually, you could trim the rosemary in the winter time and to make that winter decoration, holiday decoration. And good thing is that rosemary, once you put it in the vase, in the arrangement, or lavender, the leaves will actually you will get that fragrance of the lavender or rosemary. So beside the look, you will have just a fresh smell. So these are the few choice of branches I'm showing and I'm doing, but the list is endless. If you if you don't have this evergreen, but if you have a rhododendron or camellia, they are also broadleaf evergreen, and you could cut some of the unwanted branches or that you really needed to clean up at this time, and you could use those branches to decorate your arrangement with the berries to give that. So basically holiday time, that if you bring in some of the leaves, that will stay longer time in whether you use the water or not. So if you use the water, most of this evergreen will stay green for at least 3 to 4 weeks. So that will cover pretty much your entire the holiday season. Or if you really having problem, various reasons that you really cannot use the water, they will stay green. The arrangement will stay green for at least 2 weeks, and even the berries that will stay fresh and have the color for 2 weeks or so. But if you have water, so they have some moisture, so they will stay longer. So if you are living in a city that you really don't have any garden, and you think that, oh, okay, I don't have any garden and I cannot pick up any stuff that to do arrangement, there are other ways. For example, that if you have a Christmas tree that you bought from any store, and when you bring it home, the place that you buy from, they will cut that end for when you take home to put in the water. And you will notice that the time that they cut the tree that you choose to purchase, there is a few branches on the bottom that they have to trim to make the fresh cut. And whether you choosing pine or Douglas fir or a spruce for your Christmas tree that you are buying, you will have some branches from there. So just ask them to that you want the branches, and you just pick those branches, and those branches, green branches, you could use if you don't have anything like an anthena or junipers or arborvitae in your garden. So so now I will show you that how simply you could use this green leaves and branches to do various size and shapes of flower arrangement. So I will show, for example, that I already have some. This is a flower vase, and especially if you have already various types of flower vase, so you are lucky you already have to use it. But if you don't have it, that's any vase you could use, any size. But ongoing, you might want to look for to buy some sort of a green and red color that's vast, so it gives them some dramatic effect, the arrangement they will make. So I have this green, so this really makes that. So I have this branches that in the water, the Nandina bamboo leaves that I have. It's very easy, and I will just take, let's see, that 1 or 2 Nandina berries, and I will just stack in the middle. And so this is good enough. But if you want, you could make maybe another cluster based on. So it already looks good. So to give it. This is again. So this is, as you see, that as simple, just putting a few leaves and berries, you could make an arrangement. And I showed you 2 types of berries here. The red berries. One is Nandina bamboo berries, and another one is the winter berries. There are various types of winter berries. Some of the cluster will be, the berries will be bigger. Some of them are orange, usually red, and these are very upright, and the branches are very stiff, so they stay upright. As you notice that Nandina bamboo is sort of like a very it's kind of like a draping down, and because the branch is holding the berry, it's not very stable. So when you put into the vase, you have to kind of make sure that it's just not falling off the vase. So this is one arrangement I just done, and I will show you that other thing you could do. For example, this is in a very traditional Chinese ceramic vase, and let me see what I could do. For example, I have this arborvitae, so I will put this leaves first, and we'll have the water in it, so they would stay longer, and so I have this, and then I will just stock in some berries cluster. So this was sort of like a orange color, and then I have one in red color, very dark red, beautiful color, and this one kind of you have to make sure that they stay in, because they are sort of like a heavy, and maybe so this could be, I'm making very fast, so just to show you, but if taking time, you could balance it, the branches, so it looks nicer. And this kind of, you could put in the dining room, in the center of the dining table, or your countertop, in a kitchen island, which is I'm standing right here. So you could, it would be a beautiful arrangement, just using few green leaves and other thing that you could use that, for example, I'll show different size. For example, earlier I mentioned I have collected that the boxwood leaves that I have to cut. So this is wood. So I have this one. So let's see that I could use this winter berries, which is listed right in the center. And just a little bit of a color makes so much difference. And so these are maybe bigger. So let's see that you don't have that much. You just have a little tiny winterberry you had, and or various places that, for example, I have already set this up earlier. There were the two types. So just see that this is just a green little tiny vase, and I have one branch of leaves from arborvitae and one winterberry, the branch. So just this would be perfect to just to live next to your computer desk while you're working, and you look at it and you see the color, and it just change your mood of the day. And this is another one that if you, for example, if you have a clear kind of vase, this kind of upright, you see I have used one strand of juniper branch and just a winterberry. Just a few berries in this mixinary. What a beautiful arrangement. So, for example, this you could put into next to your wash sink or your kitchen sinks, or this one. So that will just make a difference. And now this is where the small size, mid size. Let's go about that. If you wanted to have a large piece that you wanted to put into behind on the sofa table, behind the sofa, or somewhere in a console area that usually not that many people go, but he just wanted to have a big size look. So this is, I had this one done earlier. I can show you this here. You see, this is just a few branches of Nandina bamboo and Nandina berries hanging. So this is would be a large piece that you could do just a sticking few branches. And when you're doing larger arrangement, that this kind of look. So if you use the leaves branches, try to do a symmetric. So like you put in 3 branches or 3 cluster berries. So it's not very symmetric, because if you put in 2 or 4, it's human eyes tends to like the symmetric display, and usually also human eyes can 3, 5 around that number can really sense it. Once you go beyond like a 6, 7, it really doesn't matter how many you order even. But when you have either 1, 3, or 5, so that's the order you should follow when you're doing the any types of arrangement. Because if you do even number, it's not, it doesn't, it's human eyes and brain cannot really take that as a very pleasing sense. So this is an arrangement. Now let's see that you wanted to do a much taller, you wanted to make it in a very grand, and you wanted to display, maybe you have a big hallway with high ceiling or a cathedral ceiling, you wanted to have a really tall arrangement. How do you do that? So just a second, I'll be back. here, beside the various type of leaves and branches I use, these are some of the branches I needed to cut. This is one of the flower, Japanese Carrera. It's a yellow orangish flower, but I needed to trim them anyway. And it has the interesting look, and it still stay green in the branch in winter. But it is green. If it's not, even as a brown or color, it still will be good. So what I cut it, you stick to it. You'll see that how this really change the height of the arrangement, giving really much bold look. And so based on how much you needed, you could also, this is if you are adding, either you do 1, 3 something, so it doesn't look very symmetric. And so this completes that. So just think about it. Before it was just the green leaves and berries. Now it's giving this tall height, and this could be a really grand arrangement. Just having a large vase and the simple arrangement. So, so talking about the berries, that I talked about a lot about Nandina bamboo berries or Nandina berries. One of the things that I do have in this garden, but I have to mention that I will try to do another video talking about this type of berries. This berry has a cyanide and alkite minerals, and it is a little bit toxic if birds or animals or anyone ingest that. So just a few would not hurt, but I will try when I do gardening video about this various type of berries. I will touch up on that, but just want to mention that this berry has been very popular recent years for homeowners to plant them, but you don't want to plant a lot of them, and if you do plant them, just to use them during the holiday time, so you don't have lots of them in the garden, because some birds, especially cedar waxing bird, they really during the winter time they avoid any other things once they find them, and they just eat them, so many of them at the same time, and it causes them severe effect to death. So just but other berries, for example, winter berries, which is various type of winter berries, you could have these berries. Actually, these are beautiful. They stay upright. It's very easy to maintain in the garden, and these berries don't have any toxic element that would hurt any animals. So this is actually good in winter time, that winter birds, especially cardinal, blue jays, and other who lives in the upper northeast or north region area, colder region area, they actually would love these berries to have a food supplement. So they do eat these berries. So thank you for watching. Hope you got some ideas about doing a simple holiday Christmas arrangement, and make your home much more colorful and beautiful for yourself and the people that you most likely visit your home during the holiday season. So if you like this my video, kindly subscribe the video. I will time to time will post various information about gardening and decoration and cooking. I would really appreciate if you could can subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.